Okay, good morning. So, wow, so okay, I gotta have something, but the radio's too far away, and I thought I had something on, but when I changed the channel, it kind of didn't go to anything. Um, so, um, often, but sometimes more often than other times, um, the intent of the video is kind of very viewer led. Um, I can't be the only one that does that, but I am curious how common it might be. Um, however, um, so I wasn't really sure how to start this other than kind of the title, and I guess I sort of know what maybe kind of sparked it, but or kind of inspired it, but and basically, and it was perfect because I was kind of like it's early in the morning, and I don't know, I was kind of um, I wasn't slow to set this up, set up the video with the different menus you have to go through and that. But just as I finished, a video stopped playing that I had open in this tab, which has a bunch of stuff open, and I couldn't look wasn't it wasn't in view to stop it, and I knew it wasn't long, but yeah, and but it was seeming longer than I thought it was, and yeah, just as it finished, I was all set up and ready to roll. Now, I guess it's true, and I don't like because I can't see the tab because of so many things open. Um, I but I'm thinking about. By the way, does anybody else struggle with that? Again, I can't be the only one with that either. Um, I'm thinking. Um, okay, the dog's not been sleeping very long, so he's being very good. I think yeah, there was also something about making me want coffee. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do then, and hopefully I'll be able to, because on the small screen anyway, it doesn't show very many. It doesn't show any room for any new tabs. One of them, yeah. I don't know how I've gotten so many open. I really don't. Um, just thinking, which one could I? I'll stop the thing in a moment. Which one could I replace it with? Maybe that one. Yeah. Okay. So what I can do though is send them to other windows just by with the right click. So while I'm waiting for people to tune in, I'm going to do that. And it does bring it to the front at least, so that's good. Oh, the only thing is that I have that selected to a certain spot. Right. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Nice when things can be easy, right? Seems so often that they aren't. Or at least I feel like I notice that really often. Interestingly, this particular window, I mean, it's one of my active windows on the computer, but I didn't think that it was one of the ones I was using more recently, as recently. Kitty said dog bark. But the third tab in is a song that I opened recently, unless this is going back, which could be possible. Because then, but I think it just added to kind of giving a negative association to the song. So I don't think I would have looked it up then, but I do remember it came to mind recently. Nobody's watching, so at the moment, yeah, felt well, I felt like yesterday was Thursday. First of all, I really felt like I didn't know what I wanted out of the day today. It's nice out, uh, and I think it's supposed to be. Yesterday was nicer than expected, and I think, well, I let some fresh air in the house a couple times. No, I did go for a bike ride. That's right, but which I could do, because I mean, like I say, life is just not promised, and July is still far away. And as I look at the video playing in the background on my phone here, just for a bit of background noise, and I might want to look at it later. The show's name, but I mean, the irony, right? But so basically, that was an update last night. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of money, not a lot of reason to go anywhere, um, and my health sometimes won't let me. Speaking of, got the weirdest message in connection to a couple of the music videos I posted the other day. Like not done with the crew in the studio kind of music videos because I don't have that kind of access. It feels like, but but mm, 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 ones that I did, and it said that it did not. I think it said something about didn't mute anything or anything like that. Maybe I should just look at it. And they were covers as far as I was concerned that I was doing, and it even says that in the title. Just that I couldn't monetize it. So hopefully the theater stuff turns out. But I mean, I do snippets in there. That seems to be a safe way to do it. And it's usually me singing it a cappella, which, yeah, usually when I do music, I'm playing an instrument. So when is the key word. Copyright owner Mises, nothing huge, Glenn used to do this all the time, is now monetizing or receiving analytics about it. I don't exactly, like, I know this word analytics, but I don't know exactly what that means. And one thing I thought of when I heard it, and then it's also trying to tell me that Rob Thomas is Latin music, although he may have done some stuff at the time. But one thing I heard of when I heard it is that the original artist is going to get the royalties as if they're not rich enough. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be popular in mainstream, but then it says what can you do, and it says leave the video as is if you're fine with revenue sharing. So for sharing it, okay, I look forward to my my part of it. You know what I mean? So okay, there was somebody there briefly. Edit, yeah, okay. Um, Anyway, I'm going to go back to this other task that I was going to do while I'm doing this because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Trying to do, sometimes doing successfully, often not. Um, but sometimes I have some luck when I'm doing it in a video because then it's kind of like I can address it in the video and then come back to it if I want to. It's like another way of kind of holding on to it instead of an open tab. I think that makes sense, right? Um, I'm unsure about some of these health things. I mean, because I do sometimes still experience what I had been looking up. We think we know what it is, but is it only that? The other thing I could probably do with a right click is close something, but I mean, these are three different things about gastroconditis. I don't really think that I need all of them open. Um, I'll look at the other one later, but I'm doing it in this one right now, and I want to be watching the statistics, the analytics. I believe that's pretty much the same thing. So I'm just gonna also use some of the open tabs, and thankfully the dog's being good because sometimes it gets noisy when I'm doing videos and stuff. But I'm gonna use some of the open tabs to inspire um, the conversation. Although that one actually may be surprisingly a bit triggering for folks. Well, including myself. Uh, Wish I could remember more on that, I could say. Yeah, and she didn't really say much. So I'd like to. Well, I probably don't need her open twice. That's out of it. Sorry. Close. Oh, right. I wasn't going to do that. I was on the YouTube tab, right? Because at least it's something in the background. And it's not something that I think would be a problem with it being in the background. And it's not very loud either. But it seems to mostly be keeping the dog calm. I'm at these tabs while waiting for people to view in and with thoughts about the title and anything they might want to talk about. And the indicator along the top is just about to become in view, but I'm looking through tabs and trying to close things. I don't know if this is a topic or not. Okay, I see. And there's a couple. Okay, I feel like I could possibly close up, but I may have filled it out and I may regret if I do. This is a phrase I sometimes come up with, and that thing that I was just kind of mentioning, and just there's a few reasons why I feel like, and this, I just didn't know where else to put it at the time. I was, on the device and typed it in, and every now and then that can kind of be interesting. Not that I usually look much in depth at it, but not necessarily something you're searching, but just something you're thinking. You type it in and see what it finds. So I don't know why I put right now, but it says it's like I can't sing because I can't. All right, rather I can't sing because I can, so I can't. What I mean by that, but it looks like it could be a little bit longer than that, unless it's saying search instead. Like I said, I'm not going to click it because then I won't be able to get back to this. But what I mean by that is that I feel like I have been given the ability to be a good singer, but I'm not getting the opportunity, so I don't want to. Does that make sense? Not getting the opportunities, not finding them, not yeah. I almost sometimes want to give up on music and not just music, and like playing it. Somebody just tuned in, so I'll let you put your thoughts on the title, and if there's anything particular you want to talk about, I'm here for you. Um, I'm going to give the dog this thing. And the person had left, and I don't know if they've ever been to Jennifer or not, but it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, those are small. It's like, I'm here for you. No, I'm good. Well, I mean, some people are doing better than others. Um, if it was the fact that I'm a stranger, I mean, um, I don't know if now that he's doing that. Some people say it's easier to talk to a stranger about what's going on. Um, I'm not sure what I feel. I mean, I've used helplines before in the past, um, but it's hit and miss. I prefer eventually to be reaching people that I have spoken to there before. Um, okay, well that's open twice, but I don't know if there's a difference between the two. Um, this might be a topic. I don't know. The right person sees it, and can be either a receiver or somebody who works in the field. But how does physio work? This was something I typed and then wandered off from with ADHD or I would have thought maybe I would have browsed a little bit and then not knowing which of the results I wanted to click, and that's why I wanted to write. But it looks like it's at the top of the page. But that could be because the browser had crashed at some point because it did a couple times just yesterday, I think. But honestly, usually is pretty good. Is usually pretty good for an old device and for two people using it, fairly actively. Um, well, that's only the second or third tab I'm closing. I'm starting to wish it wasn't because every now and then things get open there too. I mean, um, if I can make this available, I don't want to be jinxing nothing, but usually this computer, all that said, does not skew the the windows together and make them wonky or whatever. So I could probably bring the other one up on top of this. Um, may or may not be interrupted by a phone call. That's what the thing. We need more clicks out there, though. I just had a thought, but it really makes more sense to say when somebody's here and actually not sound a certain way also when somebody's engaging. So neither is the case yet. Haven't been rolling super long, but so I don't know if I need to keep that open. I don't know if I watched all of it, and it was, I believe, during the pandemic, so it'll be different than it'll be this year anyway. But it is something I sort of want to talk about, maybe. So there's a banquet coming up. Uh, the working person in the households. This is me, just at this point in time, it's just been hard. I've been trying to find things, but and it's quite a bit of money, but I think he maybe copied and pasted it, or he really took out the time to type up the menu. But I don't know. I would have just taken a picture of it if he saw it somewhere. Like it was. But anyway, lots of good stuff. Going to be some French speakers, and I don't speak French doing presentations. I also wanted to um, perform, you know, not to him, but whoever the number on the thing was who never did get back to us. Said something about how we don't get a lot of gigs, because we don't do bars, we don't drive. Could we play a couple songs or whatever? But then I found myself asking us as well, and also asking to help serve. I said it better to the other person, but now I feel like I've gotten the answer. I shouldn't ask again. And apparently, uh, whether he thought it was me or then he mentioned it there. I don't know who brought it up first and said maybe next year. Well, none of us are guaranteed even tomorrow, even the rest of the day. Even if we're healthy, who knows? I mean, not to worry anybody, but like life is like that, right? Not to mention, it's something I really needed now to that sense of purpose. Next year, I might feel different. Um, you know, and like I say, not understanding the French speakers, I mean, it would give me something else to focus on. I'm essentially going there for the food, and I hope they serve it not long after I get there. It's a buffet style by the sounds of it. Um, so it may or may not have been self served. True enough. But and ironically, after finding out that I'm weekly positive, but sometimes my health, I feel like something's going on, and it's not in a week session, a week way, but it makes me feel that way sometimes. Celiac. It was interesting to find out that it's maybe once I go, I'll feel different, but thing that it is a gluten free thing. Um, I guess that just means there's no bread because yeah. So basically, what mental health topics would should we discuss? The viewer left, whatever. It's only one of them. Uh, Hold on, open there. It's a weird title. I should look at that later. That was. It's weird though that it's like in the middle. That was. looking up the place that's doing it, but like I've only known about it for weeks, so I don't think I need to have that open. Or that, because it's kind of about it as well. Um, I don't think I should read that one. How do I upload YouTube? Okay, hello, welcome. So I haven't been rolling super long, and somebody just tuned in. So, what mental health would you like to talk about? Mental health? What mental health topic? We could make that the viewer goes, but I'll finish my statement for anybody who sees this after. I guess we could make that mental health related. I mean, it probably would be anyway, or we could make it on like a stress that you're going through. Um, I just had an interesting thought, and I like to try and be as honest as I can be here, And as far as people being that way with me, as long as you're doing it with kindness and respect, like truly, and realizing, do you think it would come across that way to most other people, or is it just that you think you are, but so therefore you are? Um, like never had bad comments or whatever in quite a while, but haven't had a lot of comments anyway. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, I just had this thought of like, not that I have a whole lot else going on today, which is one reason I'm doing this, but it's kind of like, yeah, this couch, I should sit over there, but that's a sunny spot. Um, but make this worth my time. And then as soon as I thought it, I thought, well, the people watching are probably hoping the same. So that boils down to then is that let's make it worth it for each other that I'm doing this. It, I think that's a more positive way to look at it. So as somebody just tunes in, the only person here at this point, and yet I'll just say what I think you maybe didn't catch, or maybe I won't because you left. Now this is, I believe, be nice if it said possibly the Chris. What was the other one? And it's just and this was about an opportunity to be a caller to people that are isolated and be of support to them. Because as you can tell, I'm open to doing so. And this goes back a while ago, but I've been open to doing so for a while ago. Um, and maybe that lead up will be all for none because I'm just looking at some of these PDFs or whatever that we had to open. Uh, and so far, yeah, it has been all to none. Uh, and like I opened up a bunch of different sections that I had to check box or whatever, and it's kind of funky. There's like about 6 or 7 of them, and if I was going to talk about any of them, I would say one of the first 2 or 3, just because I think that um, they make more sense to talk about. I'm just taking my socks off, or that the I don't know. Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of feel like no, they don't really though. Um, they don't. I don't know. They're not necessarily topics that I feel to talk about. Um, that is part of their. I don't even remember part of their system. But if the person calls me and I can find out a little bit more from them, then I might be open to trying the process again. Hopefully, I wouldn't have to do everything. Um, When I say the word mainstream, what do you think of? I'm just curious. I don't know if I want to close this tab. I don't know why. Oh, okay. I remember what that is. Sorry. Chapstick. And yes, it's just that color. I wish that the thing said the package probably did, but the tube doesn't. Okay, I'm not gonna keep that twice. So that's 4. I'm starting to wish it was in the window. Uh, I've covered that one already, but I'll keep it open. That's weird that that's at the end of that row. He didn't ever want to talk about that place. I don't know what that is without clicking it. Okay, close that. Okay, so welcome. Um, is there a stressful, and maybe I'll be able to relate, and that may or may not be helpful, but is there something going on? Never mind. Why do I show the care? Like I say, I can't be the only one, and it's just a way of engaging. But I suppose, well, I don't know. I was also just thinking that sometimes YouTube, people. I'm also just thinking that people that come and watch things on YouTube may not want it to be about them. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, well, if they can't relate, why would they be interested? And I'm very relatable, and I'm very open and free spirited, and you know, um, maybe I'll do this. I don't know, because I've been thinking about them a little bit lately. Not so much this one, but this is interesting. This could be an interesting topic. And I think there could be more to the story too. I still don't entirely know the reason behind the name of this. Maybe timestamp this part. And I actually learned a new way to be able to do so more precisely last night. But I'm going to talk about a movie that I just get. I had as many who follow the channel will know, I had a friend pass away um, almost 3 months ago, I guess, or exactly 3 months ago, 3 months and a few days. And not long after, I found out, a couple before the funeral, one maybe after, um, YouTube showed me 3 movies. 2 especially, I feel related and made me think of this person. I felt like all 3 did, but at the moment I can't recall. Also, if you're a praying type, can you please pray for a friend of mine who's been kind of, read the name of it again, and then I could talk more about that perhaps, but MIA. Um, I know he's had a couple of health problems. We have no problem with each other. I can't access my messenger, but it does not seem to be indicating that anything new has come in. So, anywho, one thing I'm not sure about. I'm just about to talk about a movie. I'm not sure why it's called this. Uh, I mean, I guess movie titles don't always have to make sense, but that's interesting. Maybe a topic as well to think of how movies got their titles, or why movies might have a certain title that they have, how it relates to the story. I'd never really thought about that. Anything come to mind in that regard? This one is a bit of a smaller, um, like I didn't recognize any of the cast, but it was still good. Uh, and it could have been maybe a small budget movie, I'm not sure. And it's called Country Called Home, in brackets 2015, and you can find it free on YouTube. And just out of the 3 movies I'm thinking about, I'm just wanting to make sure because I haven't seen them super recently, but not super long ago. Like I say, just trying to, and for some reason that was open twice, but one under a video tab of IMDb. But you can find it free on YouTube. I don't want to give too much away. And it's not that it wasn't memorable, but the fact that it was a little while ago and it's early and I'm low energy might be a reason why I why I oughta. um why I don't remember it super strongly. But essentially, maybe I could just say the ways that it related to what I'd been through in connection with that friend. And yeah, it's easy to worry too when you so many people have passed away in your life or all those. But basically, so I believe it's her dad or her uncle. Her dad, I think, passes away. Ironically, though, I'm thinking that because of well, anyway, dad passes away. I don't think they had been close, and I think that that is brought up pretty early in the movie. So as soon as you start watching, you're going to see that anyway, or not as soon as, but like I say, pretty soon in. Um, and basically, might do it with another window because now I'm kind of done with that window, and I still haven't found this one. So good thing I'm still on it. Basically, it. Um, so she has to go to where he had been living, another town. And I think at first it showed a little bit of her trying to decide whether she was going to or not because they weren't close. And she, let's just say that she meets somebody uh, who I started to think they might start a relationship. Um, do they? You'll have to watch and find out. Uh, Basically, and so that was when I was going to send it to. That's fine. So basically, okay, now I'm just gonna completely focus on the top indicators and put this in front of everything else until I get comments. So she and oops. Okay, good. I'm pretty sure that's right. And this other character that's introduced was going through something, and there was a detail about it which um, really mirrored what I've been going, what I experienced as well. Um, and they share a little bit of their kind of visiting with each other, but out of the three, I guess I might say it was my least favorite, but I didn't hate it. And again, it's called A Country Called Home, and it's was and specifies the year 2015 for some reason in it. Maybe I might also like to look at the comments under that video actually, and some of these other ones, and involved there. Might even look up the. I don't know if I should play a little snippet. I don't know if that would be. Um, well, probably treated just like the with the music, but I would say a bit more specific. Like this is the one with the karaoke cover of the song I did the other day. I don't like I said I don't remember if they said that it was going to be muted. So feel free to check it out. Um, I might keep this one shorter because I see a couple things I kind of want to do. Kind of want to watch a music video and then maybe look up this video. So I'll probably do another one later today because it's only 9 o'clock and I don't have many plans today. So yeah, thank you. Bye for now.